insulting.
Yeah, fuck off.
Fuck off, right? Look at this. Look, he doesn't want them coming in his house.
What are you doing in the house? What are you doing in my house? What are you doing in the house?
Look at that, she's touching the door right there. So they come in, they're speaking loudly, so they're just spraying particles all over the place. They have no face masks on, they have no gloves on. And so to review here, what just happened here in the UK is that in the interest of public safety, this man had his door broken down by 4 people who were wearing no personal protective equipment, in the interest that maybe he was spreading the virus somehow, but if they had any virus on them, they've just now spread it into this man's green zone. I'll tell you what, if somebody came to my house right now and wasn't wearing any personal protective equipment, I'm not letting in my house either. But that's an unacceptable result to the authorities in the UK. So the nanny state, their twisted logic says it's safer for us to bash this guy's door down without any personal protection equipment, bring 4 people into this guy's house to prevent him from possibly passing the disease around. Which it's just bizarre logic, but that's what's happening. And I'm using this as a metaphor for what I'm seeing a lot of, which are very heavy-handed government responses to preventing people from being out in public. And I get the public safety angle, but if you're doing it in a way that has zero concomitant public safety on the other side of it, with it, it's illogical at that point in time. It just doesn't make any sense. So this is a perfect example of a completely nonsensical response there. All right, we'll see more of that. This was a really interesting graphic out of the New York Times and shows the power of exponentials, and this is a really interesting way to present this. I like this. It says, hey, imagine if with something that spreads as easily as COVID-19 or the honey badger virus, imagine if we averted 1 case now, right here at now, and then we look out 30 days, or we averted 1 case in 7 days, right? What actually happens? How many cases were averted? That's what we're looking at on this axis here. So if you have just a 7-day lag between whether you do it now or whether you start in 7 days, it's the difference between just over, what's that, maybe 600 cases, and I'll call that 2,300 cases. That's the power of exponentials, just from averting 1 case now versus in 7 days. So when every day counts, if you are going to, basically the UK frittered away all of March. Really cool case study between the UK and Ireland. Basically the same demographics, basically the same state of the healthcare system, basically the same number of hospital beds per 100,000 people, basically everything the same, except that Ireland got in front of this thing several weeks before the UK. They even shut down St. Paddy's Day in Ireland, prophylactically, preemptively, because they understood, their leadership there understood this, whereas the managers in the UK punted, frittered around. Boris Johnson was busy shaking hands, glad he's out of the hospital and all that, but he really has something to answer for minimizing and downplaying the disease, and because of that, the UK is basically this red curve now, not in inversion cases, but in actual cases compared to where Ireland is. So that just shows that when something's moving exponentially fast, you got to get on it fast and early. Okay, so looking here, this is the CDC pneumonia map. Let's see, green, any states that are green would be at normal levels. I think this map speaks for itself. Every state in the union is at elevated level. Everyone, Hawaii, Alaska included. All right, very interesting data has been piling out. I got a couple of things I want to report down here today, but this is probably the most important, so we'll start here. I'm titling this, well, crap. It turns out that the coronavirus could attack the immune system, like HIV, by targeting protective